Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche Pregame Show presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. Jesse, Rudo, Megan, Blaze coming to you live as the Avs are taking on the Dallas Stars for the first time this regular season. Gonna be, well, it's never easy for the Avs in Dallas, is it? But we'll see. We'll see how things play out on the whole. Georgiev getting the start. We will talk about that in a little bit. Realistically, right now, with the Avs' current lineup, how do these two teams match up? That's not a good look.
Rupe Hintz is out, right?
I believe so, yeah.
He's a game time decision.
Oh, he is?
If it's a yay or nay.
Oh, see,
yet?
I thought he was like out.
Okay.
I don't know, and I struggle with this, not because the Avs aren't beat up or whatever, but I just like, I'm just not like really a big believer in this Stars team. Like they've gotten a nice boost under Pete DeBoer. Sure.
I think Pavelski still has some in his tank.
Yep.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
The combination of DeBoer and Pavelski.
Yeah,
seems to
oh
be
my
some
God.
kind of avalanche kryptonite.
Yeah, holy shit, I didn't even think about
that's
that.
why when you ask about how these teams stack up,
Yeah,
I
it's horrible.
genuinely have some shock.
boy.
End the show.
Andre-
We're not going to
I
do a
don't know,
post game.
is
Megan
Andre
just summed it up.
If he is, he's also just a great goaltender. Jason Robertson's on a tear. Like, I still think these teams stack up well. There's just a lot of things that definitely make it an interesting contest.
For the record, in the standings, the Avs are 3 points behind Dallas, but have 2 games in hand. So, realistically, the winner of this game is the team at the top of the division, even if the Avs would still be 1 point behind. 1 point behind with 2 games in hand. You're pretty much at the top at that point. So, fair enough. Wanted to get into this conversation. I don't think there's going to be much dissent about this, but there were some people talking about potentially giving Francouz this game. And we don't have to get into the specifics of really tonight, but I'm curious what your guys' usage would be coming up here through the rest of November for Francouz. Obviously, expectation is he'll get one of the back-to-back games, but would you give him more than that?
I mean, I think this is where it comes down to, one, we aren't privy enough to the conversations that are going on in the room. Like, honestly, here's where I'm at. As a big believer in Pavel Francouz, again, that was my hot take in our preseason roundtable that he was going to snatch a starting job. I think very highly of Pavel Francouz. I think he's a very capable backup. Alexander Georgiev is just, he's just playing at an elite level right now. And if I'm Jared Bednar, I'm just kind of staying in contact with Georgiev there. And if he's feeling good and he doesn't feel like
Just
he needs
roll
a
it,
rest,
yeah.
I'm just going to roll with him at an above average clip, knowing that if he stumbles or if he needs some time off, you have Pavel Francouz who can jump right in. Like you said, he'll get some time at the end of this week. But honestly, I think Jared Bednar is weaponizing some of the rest they've gotten recently. And hey, I don't need to be sitting this guy right now. And maybe that means that we'll see a healthy dose of Francouz after the new year to let Georgiev rest up a bit. But if Georgiev is feeling it right now, why change it?
I mean, you don't sit a goalie that just pitched a shutout, right?
Right.
But Pavel did win you a game.
He did
that
steal
you
one
had
for
no
sure.
business winning.
100%.
So, I mean, I think you have to reward a player like that. You can't just, say, hey, thanks a lot for that win. We do know that, though, if Pavel plays a lot of games in a row, he starts to falter a little bit.
Yeah.
But you could give him a little bit more of a look right now and just kind of, manage that workload that's going on. When you have 2 hot goaltenders, why not spread that workload out?
Yeah. I think a lot of it, for me, comes back to, Francouz. I feel like the Avs are fairly comfortable in what they have there, like knowing what they've got.
Yeah.
He's shown that he's found a way to find his own rhythm in terms of when we talked to him last week, Megan, I think it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, we were asking him how hard is it to stay mentally sharp when you're not playing. And he said, yeah, it can be tough sometimes, but I'm looking at it at the positive and that I'm getting the rest and that my body feels good when I am stepping into the net. And like, honestly, right now, you're getting some of the best results you've seen out of Francouz while giving him kind of these lengthier rest periods in between each start. So Georgiev is much younger. If you like the way that things are rolling right now, with as depleted as you are, we mentioned on that last post-game show, you need your goaltending to help you out more so than maybe we thought they would at the beginning of the year. And if you're in a good flow right now, just don't disrupt that. If Georgiev comes to you at some point and says, hey, I'm a little worn out from, playing 5 games in a row or whatever, cool, give him a couple nights off, whatever. But as of right now, I'm of the opinion of don't change what has worked throughout the last 2 weeks.
And since there isn't much November left, I think feasibly I see Frankie starting a game like Friday's game, the afternoon game, and giving Georgiev a break between, I think, Wednesday, Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, the thing is, right, we're not fully into it yet, but this is the beginning of the rhythm for the Avalanche.
Yep.
This is the part of the season where it's like, okay, they actually kind of play every other day with, 2 days off here and there. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Frankie getting more usage as this ramps up, but maybe not 100%. Right at the start here.
Right.
Yeah, you've had plenty of rest. Megan, I think what you just said about what it probably looks like, I think that's probably it, right? You probably go Georgiev Wednesday, Frankie Friday, back to Georgiev Saturday. Yep. And look, like the other thing that people need to keep in mind, Jared Bednar reiterated the other day, there was maybe a little bit of confusion at the very beginning of training camp because what was it that Bednar told us? Hey, we're going to be watching these guys. We want to see who captures the net. But Joe Sakic was adamant in the offseason, hey, this guy is here to be our number one. And then Jared Bednar kind of just doubled down on that last week, saying, we brought him here to be the number one. We brought him in to take on a number one workload. And I think he's exceeded expectations from, I think, everyone sitting here on this panel right now.
Definitely.
And I think he's kind of shown maybe a little bit more than what the Avs thought they would get out of him so early on. And he's thriving, he's gelling, he's finding that rhythm, finding that stride. I'm just not going to mess with it right now. If he wants to go in net, unless you have a real reason of like concern to not let him do that, if he's wanting to go, I'm letting him go if I'm Jared.
Fair enough. The other conversation I want to have about this game, and it may look like a pretty easy question on the surface, but best forwards on each of these teams. Dallas, it's probably Jason Robertson, right? I don't think there's really a ton of competition there, especially if Roope Hintz isn't playing. On the Avs side, is it McKinnon or is it Rantanen right now? 1 point separates them. Rantanen has scored significantly more goals, especially recently. You've seen that strong physical play out of Rantanen. Is there a case to make that Rantanen is the Avs' best forward right now, or is it just McKinnon?
If the qualifier is right now, it feels easy to say Rantanen is the hot hand.
Right now.
Right? And so if you're looking at, in terms of tonight, who can we expect to jump off the page at you, I'd point to Rantanen as an easy bet. But I would open the floor to McKinnon too. I'll accept either one.
Certainly no complaints either way.
Yeah, Nate has really seemed to dial it up with once all the injuries really started hitting. Even if he's not scoring, he's so involved. He's making plays. But, I think we've seen Mikko Rantanen play some really good hockey. This is some of the best I've seen him play consistently. He's using his size. He's shooting the puck. I thought it was really interesting. Did you guys see that feature that Altitude did on Mikko?
Yeah.
It was a little 5-minute thing.
Access?
Yeah. Peak access. I couldn't think of what it was called. Did you guys hear how he was talking there? Lehkonen said that Rantanen hit like a growth spurt of like a foot in one summer. And then Mikko was talking about how it took him a long time to adjust to this crazy
Gangly
growth
body,
spurt.
yeah.
And I was kind of laughing because I feel like when he first got to the Avs,
he wasn't fully adjusted.
No, I feel like he was still figuring it out. And like there's even a level of him at times that like looks like he's still learning how to use that.
Sure, yeah.
And that's what I think has been fun here about these last 2-ish weeks, whatever, is he like, man, he looks like he's learning how to use that size. And I want to use the word finally, but he's like 24.
Well, the thing is, we've seen him do it before too, right?
Right.
Go back a couple years, and then he kind of turned it off for a while.
Yeah.
That's
And
why
so-
the consistency
Yeah.
part that you mentioned is what sticks out.
Yep.
Yeah, he's engaging physically on a nightly basis, and I mean, honestly, I think the Avs as a whole played a good game against Washington, but
Agree.
the phrase "your best players got to be your best players," and they've stepped up huge in the last couple
you
weeks.
saw my tweet from the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a fact that the Avs rely under regular circumstances, they rely extremely heavily on McKinnon and Rantanen. Under current circumstances, it's close to all or nothing with those
Right.
guys.
Yeah.
So they matter more than everybody else. It's
Kel
just a
McCarr,
fact.
1 point away from
Yeah,
200.
he's chasing 200 tonight. You think he gets there?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're going to need him to if they're going to
Win this game?
win this game.
On the power play, he's
exactly.
going to get it.
Right. They're going to get at least one power play. Although I think Dallas is a pretty good penalty killing team.
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
All right.
I can't get bought into this Dallas team.
I have to ask you guys the unanswerable
Yeah, they're 6
question.
overall.
How
Not
do
bad.
the Avs stop Joe Pavelski?
Don't.
just
You-
outscore him? That's
you
the
just
answer?
have to hope that he doesn't. We've done. We've played this game in the past, and it's never worked. Like he always
Yep.
Finds a way.
exactly.
I think it's like a mountain lion. Just don't turn your back on him.
Yeah.
Always laser focus.
That one. It was the one last year where I was just like, this is getting ridiculous. 2 goals in the opening minute.
Yeah.
Well, he scores 15 seconds in, and you're like, of course it's Pavelski.
Right.
And then he goes down and does it again, and you're like, okay,
There's
what is going on?
And isn't it just so weird how that happens? Like, you just have
Like
players that
clockwork,
it just fucking clicks
Yep.
for some reason. It used to be Johan. It's the redheads. It was Johan Franzen before, now Pavelski.
What
Redheads.
a nightmare JT Confer's going to be when
Right.
he goes somewhere else.
Yeah, he's gonna have the curse of the ex-Av and the red hair. They won't stand a chance. Won't stand a chance.
Should be interesting. Blaze, I know you have some bets tonight. What do we got?
Yeah, let's bring these up. Oh, look at the first one there. Makar with a half a point
There
on
you
the
go.
power play, minus 110. Got to go for him, right? He's got
That
to
was
get that 200
positive
points.
money last game. Can
Yeah.
you believe that?
Oh,
That was
insane.
plus 105
Crazy.
last game.
I think we're going to see a workload here of our goaltender at 28 and a half shots at minus 120. And then look what's on the bottom there.
Yeah.
I feel like when you submit bets like this, Yaya shouldn't put them on there. You should just write free money between Pavelski and
Yeah.
Makar.
Well, I was gonna say, the Pavelski one. As much as you hate it,
You just accept it.
it's
yeah.
it's just free
I
money.
really like Joe Pavelski.
Seems like an amazing dude, but
Right.
just completely murders the Avalanche.
Not tonight.
Also, Joe, if you're looking to be a sugar daddy, I got you. Hit me up. I will. You can be my sugar daddy.
Man crush?
Oh, absolutely,
Joe Pavelski?
absolutely.
I had no idea.
That man's beard just has it. All right.
All right.
That's the guy on Dallas that does it for you, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Anyway, final thoughts going into this game. I'm going to be honest with you. My expectations are pretty low. It's the end of a road trip. Dallas is a solid team and a team the Avs struggle with, particularly in Dallas. Anybody got a more positive outlook?
I mean, it's the end of a road series like you're talking about, but this is also a divisional opponent that you need this 2 points on. They're in the standings above you. Yeah, you do. You need to stay close to these guys. You got to show them what's up. Finish out the road trip strong.
See, I've got mixed feelings because on one hand, the road trip's already a success.
Yep.
Honestly, from my point of view, whatever happens tonight kind of happens. You're already happy with this swing, but
Be a lot happier if you beat the Stars.
for sure.
Gosh,
and
yeah.
and I don't know, this team is like we we thought that the giveaway game was a couple nights ago, going to another building where you haven't played well recently. You're really banged up. And it would have been easy to say, well, if this one gets away from us, we've got one more shot to make this a successful trip. And multiple times in the last calendar year, this team has surprised us on what you would think was a scheduled loss. They find a way to grind it out. So, I don't know. It has good things don't typically happen when the Avs go to Dallas, but they've surprised us with
Time and time
It's going to be
again.
crazy
yeah.
when they win 3-1.
yeah. Joe Pavelski has the only goal.
Oh, God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Megan does not look like she's about to give us a positive
Oh no,
thought.
I'm just looking at the Juravilov in the chat comments.
I'll let you say whatever you feel comfortable saying on that
For the
one.
game, I think the Avs have tricks up their sleeves. I think they can pull something off. But for Juravilov, I'm trying to figure out what I can say. It's nothing that reflects badly on him, the player. I think he just had some personal things with his family to tend to because he made a real commitment to being here and playing here. You know, he hired an English tutor to work on learning the language and one of the guys first on the ice, that type of player. So the language of him being suspended, I think, is not something I would get hung up on. This was in the works of him returning to Russia to tend to some personal matters. So it shouldn't reflect poorly on him, the player, at all, but it is a disappointing loss.
Yep. The reality of things, real life happens sometimes. Anyway, the Avs are going into this game here. I should probably apologize to my co-casters because they probably stink, but I know I have the best job in the world because I get to do it and take my shoes off
gonna move
while I'm doing it.
I'm glad I'm sitting way over here.
Still know it's an awesome job when you can do it in your socks, all right? We're going to wrap up the pregame show, have a watch-along coming to you in 5 to 10 minutes here, so jump on that one as well. And, of course, we'll have everything post-game, breaking it all down for you, so tune into that. Until we see you in a few minutes, we will talk to you in a bit.